You're tuning in to episode number 23 of the Unknown Games podcast, and we've got a great show for you this week. That's right, we're actually on arc number 2, which means that new things are abound. You're going to hear a couple of different things that are new, such as the intro music, the outro music. Alex has some crazy new tech up his sleeves that you'll be hearing throughout this season. I think you're really going to enjoy what we have in store for you, everyone. Thanks for all of your support. We love you so much, and I can't say that enough. Without you, we're just voices on a distant star. Hopefully you got that reference. And so if you want to follow us, please do follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We can be found at UGP_cast. And if you're on iTunes or Podchaser or any of those cool services that you listen to us on, make sure to leave a 5-star review. Tell your friends and family about us. And thanks once again for listening. You guys are awesome. What's up, everybody? It's episode number 24. Wait, 23. 24? If you don't count the bonus episode, we're actually 23. This is episode number 23 of the Unknown Games podcast, everyone, and welcome. Thanks for joining. I am your host, Adrian, and this is a wonderful podcast where we talk about Japanese games, gaming culture, our life in Japan, and I keep saying our because there's two of us. One of them is me, and the other one is you.
Hey, what's up? I'm Alex.
There we go. Alex is back, and not like he ever left. He's always here. Even though the sponsorship on the last show, I mean, our new sponsor, I gotta say, I do like that new spot that we recorded together, but he threw me for a loop when he was talking about leaving the show. I was like, what, Alex? How you gonna do that?
Yeah, I'm only half joking.
And I don't actually know which half is the real half, but I'm gonna assume that he's gonna be here for the next season, right? We're on season 2 of this podcast now.
Sure, yeah. We're equating it to like an anime, so we're on our second arc. So we have a new opening and a new ending theme, and the plot is developing a little bit, I guess.
the plot's developing, and everyone, yeah, the opening is pretty good. Alex chose these himself. I guess I was just like, I was actually really like, oh wow, these are both really good. I like them both. So stay tuned to the end of the show to hear the ending. I think you're all going to like it. It's very humble and it's nice. I got to say, it's very nice.
Yeah, shout out to OC Remix for just being a really awesome website for video game music.
For real, OC Remix, I used to listen to them all the way back when I was in, I think, high school, middle school-ish. When I was just on getting every Final Fantasy CD I could find, I loved going there and getting so many remixes. And to see that some of those artists are still on there and still, the site's still going, it's always just wonderful. It's a great thing.
A lot of the artists that we're familiar with from back when I was in junior high.
Yeah.
A lot of them went on to be like professional composers.
I mean, the work that they do is legit.
It's legit. Yeah. They're actually really good composers. And then many of them are just making music for video games in like a Mass Effect. I think one of the guys on Mass Effect started at OC Remix, so that's really cool. Yeah.
Hey, dude, that's awesome. So yeah, once again, thanks to OC Remix, and also thanks to everyone who is listening to the podcast. You all are so amazing and wonderful. Every week in and week out, you come back and you listen, and we see the numbers, and throughout the lows and the highs, we do know that people are still listening, and that's encouraging. It encourages us to continue and try to make the show better. I know Alex is doing special stuff with his setup now. Some crazy voodoo magic thing. I don't know. It's weird stuff. Yeah. See, it's weird stuff, everybody. He doesn't even speak English anymore sometimes.
Do you know who that is?
I don't know who that is. I don't know what that is, man.
So that's a virtual YouTuber called Shirakami Fubuki, and she, the Shia LaBeouf like do it like green screen meme.
Just do it.
Yeah, so she did one video where she dubbed. Well, it was the original voice track with Shia LaBeouf, and she's just like mimicking the thing.
And that's what it sounds like?
And then she did another version, which is her just like doing a Japanese translation, and that's what it's from. It's really funny.
Oh my word. Just just do it, everyone. We're gonna just do it this podcast because we have a great show. We have, of course, we've got our the games that we've been playing. I know I finished up Metal Gear Rising. Alex finished up Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
No, not even close. Absolutely not even close. I'm like, I just finished the second dungeon.
Okay.
Chapter 2, I guess. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna go on to chapter 3, like right along here. I'm gonna keep moving. But it turns out there's actually like a lot of side stuff in the game.
Oh, okay. That's a good thing.
Yeah, so like each party member has their own side story, and then they have multiple chapters. So you'll do like one thing, and then it's like, oh, side story done. And then they'll come back to you like the next chapter, and they'll be like, hey, like let's hang out some more or whatever. So you're like, oh, I want to do that, because there's always something in it for you, right? When you hang out with them and you finish their side story, you'll get like a skill or something. Like it really helps you out in battle.
Well, I mean, I think we talked about this, like hanging out with people in real life. If you famously said if you had friends to do this with, but you know, it's a thing. You got to hang out with more people.
Yeah,
get more things in return.
So it is worth your time to do all the side stuff in that game, I think. And I just haven't, like, I'm kind of in the middle of doing it. We were talking about it, how it's like, I like the battle system,
right?
But the story, I'm having a hard time personally connecting to the story.
Are there any new characters that you?
Yeah, there's a bunch. I've met like 2 more characters, but
okay. Do they join your party, or are they just like part
not yet?
Cast? Okay,
they might join the party, but I'm not sure. I mean, they seem like they might, but
okay.
I don't know, man. It's like I actually do like the battle system. Like once you get a lot of the session skills, which is like the combo skills, that's when the game kind of gets fun. So in Persona and Shin Megami Tensei, like the Digital Devil Saga games,
right?
You know that when you exploit an enemy's weakness, you get one more. You get one more turn.
Right.
So the fun of the battle is basically just getting one more. Like how long can you get your combo going, right?
Right.
But in this game, once you exploit an enemy's weakness, it auto combos. Like
it just like starts playing for you.
Yeah, the rest of your party will just chime in with their own skills. But they'll only do that if they have a session skill. Let's call it a session skill that like corresponds to the attack that you landed.
Do you have to set that up like beforehand, or is that just?
They're automatic in a sense. So you learn them, and then they're like always equipped. But you can only have like a max amount of skills.
Okay,
so eventually you'll have to replace them.
So you kind of like learn. I think I remember you saying something about like it's similar to Persona games, or I guess Shin Megami games, where you have to learn. You're always kind of learning skills and forgetting skills to make room for those new skills.
Exactly.
Okay. And the newer skills are usually better than the older skills in some way, right? Or is it just like it's better, but in some ways you might not want to spend as much of your MP or your resources using it?
Well, I think as you level up, you'll earn you have more EP the higher level you go. Okay. So when it comes to like learning Bufula versus Bufu, more often than not, you're going to replace Bufu with Bufula, because that's just like a stronger single target ice spell.
You saying Bufa and Bufula? I'm just thinking of Shia LaBeouf again.
Yeah, the Boof. Yeah,
thinking of the Boof. Okay,
but they're both single target ice spells, so you're probably going to replace Bufu. But when it comes to something like Mabufu versus Bufula, Mabufu is like a multi-target ice spell that's weaker than the La like level.
Okay.
So then you're like, do I want to keep both of these? Do I want to only keep one of them? That's when it gets a little like which one should I go for? Or you get a buff. It's like debuff the enemy's defense or buff your offense, and you kind of only have room for one buff spell, and you're like, oh, which one do I want to keep?
Okay. So that's that's it seems like a pretty interesting part of the game. And then you've talked about kind of the dungeons are fun, the battle's fun, the dealing with their, I guess, everyday life isn't as fun, but you're getting a couple of new characters. But about how far are you into this? You said second dungeon, but like hour wise, is that like what, 20 hours maybe?
I'm a little bit past 10. I would say like 12 hours. So
Okay, so you still have
It's like
a
a
wild.
50, yeah. It's like a 50, 60 hour game. Like I said, like maybe it'll grow on me, but I'm just personally having a hard time connecting to the characters.
But I think I mean, like before the show, we were talking, and you said you bought Persona 5 Scramble as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just picked that up today, so I haven't even like put it in my PS4 yet.
Oh man. So yeah, I feel bad for the Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Those kids are gonna get slapped. They're gonna get slapped away.
I'll to be honest, I'm probably gonna not play Scramble for at least a couple of weeks because I want to play more Persona 5 Royal before I get to
That's right,
Scramble.
because it's a direct sequel, and you have to.
Well,
Dang.
I've already played like Persona 5 Vanilla, and I don't think Scramble has anything new from Royal. Maybe, I don't know. But I've already played Persona, so I could jump to Scramble immediately. But I kind of want to just like do things one at a time.
Well, you got time. You got time until the king
Until
comes
FF7,
out.
yeah.
Until
FF7,
the king comes out.
yeah.
Until the grand summon comes out to just kick everything away from. I mean, like, I've got friends on Apex right now, and they're just telling me like, "Yo, I need to hurry up and get finished with this battle pass. I need to get leveled up to like platinum rank. I need to do all this because once Final Fantasy VII comes out, I'm dropping this game."
Oh yeah, like once 7 comes out, it's like I'm dead to the world.
And everyone's like, and all my friends are like, "Yo, seriously, are you gonna get it on day one?" I'm like, "It'll be there day 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Are you getting it day one though?" Like it's like a status quo thing. Like if I don't get it day one, I'm not part of the cool kids.
Yeah. But are you getting a day one?
Darn it! See, the same question.
Because I am. I'm pretty excited for this game.
I feel like
so
I'm almost peer pressured. I feel peer pressured to buying it day one.
You can just order from Amazon and it'll ship it to you day one. You don't gotta leave. You don't gotta leave your apartment.
I could just buy it on PSN. I mean, it doesn't even matter where I'm getting it. I'm not getting a special edition or anything, so it's just I don't know.
That's true. Okay. Are you gonna get it from the American PSN or from the Japanese PSN?
American PSN.
Is that because the language doesn't matter? I'm almost certain that if you buy a Japanese copy, it'll play in plain English. If your PS4 is set to English.
It probably will. I have to assume that they're going to have multiple languages on that thing.
Yeah, because FF15 will do the same thing, and Nier actually does the same thing. So I have a Japanese copy of Nier, but I play Nier in English just because my PS4 is English.
And my PS4 is Japanese.
My PS4 is also Japanese, but it's set to English.
Oh, but you have it set to Okay. I have mine set to Japanese still, I think.
Well, then it'll play in Japanese. But if you wanted to play the game in English, then just change your language to English, and it'll probably switch it.
Well, I don't know. I'll still think about it. Chances are, the closer we get to it, the more I'll probably think about buying it day one.
You'll get tempted.
I'll get tempted. There's so much pressure. There's just so much pressure. I'm like, guys, I like FF7. It's one of the reasons, like, my email name has Cloud in it. My AIM Scream name from God knows how long ago.
Yeah, but you don't
has Cloud in it.
You don't have that anymore, right?
If I told you that my email still has Cloud in it, then yes, it does.
Oh, but not AIM. I mean, you're not using AIM anymore.
No, I'm not using AIM. Who's using that? No,
I think it's dead. Yeah,
it has to be dead, right? I mean, AOL Instant Messenger can't still rest in peace. RIP that service.
Anyways, so I know you're playing Metal Gear Rising. I think you're done now. What's your impressions on that game?
So I finished it last week, and I started from the last 2 boss fights. So that's the one with Sam, and then AKA Mr. Prez, whoever the
senator, yeah,
senator, man, that senator, bro. So I honestly, me in action games, I think when I was younger, I was a lot better at them. And to be honest, I haven't played a lot of games outside of multiplayer shooters in a while. So I honestly enjoyed the game through and through. It went by really fast.
It's a short game. It's like less than 10 hours. I think it's 8 to 9 hours on normal with some deaths included.
Like because I wanted to actually, about halfway through the game, I was like, I actually want to play this on hard. And because like the mechanics you get are very simple, and I was actually expecting more weapons. If you've played Bayonetta, it's shorter than Bayonetta. It's shorter than like,
Devil May Cry
so
4. Short.
It's I would say it's Devil May Cry 4 without half of the bosses being reintroduced again.
Well, I mean, except they do reintroduce, like, there's a gauntlet. There's a bit of a gauntlet part at the end of that game where you do, like, the first 2 bosses.
Yeah. and
or something. Yeah.
and I was really surprised that there were only two bosses outside of the main
Oh
two
yeah.
enemies that you
Yeah,
encounter at the
yeah.
beginning. I was like, okay, so these are the two big baddies that I'm gonna have to, eventually beat.
Oh no,
And
there's also Blade Wolf is one of the bosses.
oh yeah,
Kind of.
the doggy. I love that doggy. Um, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I do have to say, the Sam fight, I think cinematically it was really nice what they did with the camera. However, I do have an issue with the camera in that game specifically when you're trying to parry and you have to press forward and the attack button and the camera angle changes. Like
Oh,
the,
and then like
the
forward is no longer forward.
yeah, forward is no longer forward. Forward is like left or it's up or it's down or it's right. And for me, it hindered me. That's just because my reactions aren't as fast as they used to be. Like that's on me. So it made that fight go for an hour and a half or an hour. Like it literally took me an hour on that one. But I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the weapons. The last fight with the senator though, Mother Trucker had so much health.
Yeah, no, he does. Yeah.
200 health. Not only that, you have a battle before that, which is like,
Oh, the Metal Gear Exil or whatever it is.
oh my goodness. The craziest part is I was like, I have made it. And you can remember from last podcast, I said, I like this game because it does not have some crazy platinum fight where I can't see myself, wrapping my mind around it, like fighting on a leg. Lord knows this last boss fight, I fought on a leg.
Well, did you fight on a leg or did you fought a leg?
Well, I fought a leg, then I ran up so said leg to chop so said leg off, to then pick the leg up and then
and then use it as a weapon. That was awesome. Yeah,
that part
I love
was
that.
that part was awesome. That was awesome. But I wish it would have ended there. That was good enough for me. He had
so no senator fight?
No senator fight. The senator dialogue I thought was hilarious. I have a dream.
Yeah, it was
24-hour. Was it 24/7 internet bullshit? And
yeah, it's like we'll make America great again.
It was amazing. I gotta say they could have just left me at that. Plunged something through his heart, and I would have been okay. But that last little fight, I don't know. There's just something about it when he starts regenning that I didn't understand. That I had to walk around to the back side, like to his back, to then focus, to then cut the orb thing in the back.
Yeah, so the senator fight is like legendary. You just go on the internet, go on Reddit or whatever, and like everyone who has played Metal Gear Rising is just like, oh, the senator fight. Like everyone kind of has the same kind of feeling about that fight.
I mean, it's a good fight. If I had done it on my first try, that would have been amazing. It would have been cool. But like for me, like everything just wasn't being put together. Maybe I was a little bit tired too, and it got painful. It got painful, and it's not a painful fight, but I do think there is something to be said about like having a boss fight there for the sake of having it, even though it's cool, but like doubling the health and like he's not even a main character.
Yeah, he shows up out of nowhere. I'd be like, why are you the final boss? Like, what?
Right.
Yeah, where did this come from?
If it were Sam and, maybe maybe the senator dude injected something into him and made him kind of go a little bit crazy, losing his values or something, that's fine. That's still someone I have an attachment with that I want to get back at. But the senator, dude, I ain't got no beef with you other than you're on the screen and you had a awesome dialogue. I don't know. Anyways.
So the cool thing about that fight, or the cool thing about that dialogue, is they had the localization team write that speech.
Yeah.
And they liked it so much that they changed the Japanese script to match the English one.
It's a fun, like literally after I finished streaming it, I just made a clip of that entire little talk session. It's just a monologue of him for like what 5-10 minutes. Felt like 10 minutes. He didn't stop talking. But it was just amazing.
Yeah, he talks a lot.
So I got to give, credit to 8-4 on that for localizing the mess into the best. the best lines. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to come back to it and play it again maybe next time, like sometime next year or something.
Sure,
I'd like to go and play it on hard, honestly, and to just focus only on using the blade. Or only using the polearm or one of the weapons. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, there's not that many. I think it's like polearm, Psy, blade, and like rocket launcher. So you don't have a lot of choices.
There's not much, but
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. But something I that also finally got me a little bit either frustrated or just maybe I'm just tired these days. Apex, Apex,
Yeah.
man.
What about
I
it? Like, are you not enjoying it or what?
I finally stopped enjoying it.
You
Like
don't like Apex anymore?
I mean, I get to this point in a lot of games sometimes multiplayer shooters where I finally get burnt out. Like I've gotten
Hmm.
burnt out on Overwatch 3 times to the point where I uninstalled the game a couple times.
Okay.
Uh, but for Apex, it was just like I'm doing like 600-700 damage, but no kills, and then getting like maybe top 10 or less. So I just felt like I was like on this never-ending journey with no results to
Oh,
myself,
okay.
and it was just like every time I didn't feel like I was progressing anywhere, and finally I was just like, guys, I can't play anymore. I gotta take a break. I'm done.
Yeah, I mean that's totally fine. So the thing about games, I think, is you should enjoy them.
Yeah,
So if you're not enjoying Apex right now, definitely go ahead and play like some single player stuff because I know you have a lot of games. Like go ahead, check out Tales of Berseria because I know you bought it. That's a good game. I like that a lot.
yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. I mean, I'm still gonna play Apex. I played a little bit before, like just by myself and just really casual, which was fun. Just to play back on Kings Canyon since that's only here for 2 days, 3 days or
Is
whatever.
it only 2 days? I thought it was longer.
Nah, man, it's like it ends on the 24th, I guess.
Oh, because I know if you're playing competitive, you can play Kings Canyon because
March
yeah, it'll
24th,
be
I think.
it's the second map in the season. So
Yeah, it's like mid to late March when that's going to be available. So
yeah, and that's only for playing competitive. So
yeah,
if you're not
only
playing
competitive.
competitive, then whatever.
Yeah. So other than that, yeah, that's all I've been playing. I've been enjoying games and trying not to get burnt out on them at the same time. But something that we have had to deal with outside of the gaming world that is affecting, I think, a lot of people as well. I know influenza apparently, like the cold, is very spreading wildly in America. From one of my church members actually told me that. But no, here the coronavirus is like shutting everything down, literally
Mm-hmm.
everything. I I'm hoping it's going to end soon because it's starting to warm up a little bit. But just today, a kid in like a middle school, got sick. I guess he was already sick with it. Went to
Uh-huh.
school and infected someone else in the class, and now that entire school is going to be closed until like sometime in March.
Yeah, so I think the virus is still like I mean, we don't know too much about it. So if it's even if it's warmer, will that even stop the infection? I think it's very contagious. So there's a possibility that it might just now that it's in Japan, like it might just not stop until everyone who can be infected is infected. I'm serious. Like,
And only the survivors, only the oh goodness, no.
well,
It's,
I mean, it has a certain like fatality rate, but just because you get it doesn't mean you're going to die. But there's probably a really good chance that you will infect another person.
yeah, and especially with the train system here in Japan, I saw a story about there was a Final Fantasy VII remake kind of scavenger hunt that Square had planned, where you would ride the Yamanote line, which is it's a
Like
train line.
the busiest train line in for the JR system. Yeah.
Yeah, and they wanted to do like I mean there are scavenger hunts throughout the year, and you'll go to a station, get a stamp, or you'll find something, and they said, look, we just have to cancel this because there's too much risk. There's just so much happening. The Ghibli Museum also closing down till the 17th of March.
Hmm.
Oh, the coronavirus. Alex, are you okay, man?
I actually don't leave my apartment all that often, so I think I'm fine. But I do like kind of wander, I guess, out of my apartment every now and then. So I don't know, maybe.
I just want to make sure, man. If you're not okay, then you'll just have to play that sound bite as your permanent sound bite. That's all I
Oh,
really
what
have.
I mean, like, hey, what's up? I'm Alex. I'm gonna record that for you so you can use that in future episodes.
Exactly. So I can just use that, and then I'll just play other stuff like bits and pieces of your voice to make a conversation.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
This is how much I stretch on this topic, everyone. I stretch this one, but no, I mean it is something that has been on the news day in and day out. My parents have called me like, oh, can you do you want to come home? Are you okay? I got an email from the government, U.S. government.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's the only time I consider shit getting real is when
the U.S. government's like, hey, you want to come home?
Exactly. They're like, there's a level 2 travel advisory warning to Japan. If you were there, that's fine or whatever. But if you're considering going there, you might want to not consider going there. So hopefully it gets better. Hopefully it gets better soon. And we don't have to worry about this. I have a concert I want to go to next week. So I just hope the concert isn't canceled. But I'm guessing I will have to have a mask on.
A mask at a concert? That doesn't sound fun at all.
It sounds like I'm gonna be hot and like scratching my face, and it's like this is the opposite of what you want to do. So we're gonna wrap this part of the show, and we're gonna come back with some news. Once again, thanks for listening, and remember the sponsor break is awesome now. It's not just me; it's us. It's a team.
Yeah.
So we hope you enjoy that, and remember we're gonna come back with some news.
Oh, thank you.
And welcome back, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the break. Hope you enjoyed your break. And we are back with the news. I love the news. Today, we've got the Final Fantasy VII Remake data thing leaked. Wait.
Yeah. I know we talk about FF7 Remake all the time. I think it's been like 4 weeks consecutive at this point.
I actually had to stop putting it in the show titles because
it's like FF7 Remake,
it was just FF7 Remake. We've been talking about it, honestly, maybe 7 weeks in a row.
It's 7 more. So I was on the internet and I saw
24/7 internet.
Yeah. And so the Korean what is it, like the Korean sleeve, I guess, the Blu-ray sleeve, I mean like the paper sleeve, an image of that leaked onto the internet, and it shows obviously not just the front but also shows the back where you can see all the marks about a video game.
Right.
So of note on the back is that it's going to be 2 discs, and I think we knew this already. It was like announced or leaked or something like last year, but for sure it's going to be 2 discs. And the install size is going to be 100 gigabytes. My question is, because when you put in a disc in your PS4, it actually installs it. It like copies the data from your disc to your PS4, right? So my question is,
how long is it going to take?
No, how is the 2 disc going to work? Is it going to be like insert disc 1 copies 50 gigs, and then it's like insert disc 2 copies 50 gigs, and then you can start the game?
Or is it going to be like OG style?
Like a disc swap. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, this is the first time this has happened. I mean, we haven't had, honestly, a game
never
do something like this since, or at least
Xbox 360.
Yeah, that really made news. And what game was that? That it was
Lost
some
Odyssey.
RPG. Lost Odyssey. Yeah. So Lost Odyssey had 3 discs, if I remember right.
No, it had 4.
At 4. Jeez,
I'm pretty sure it had 4 because I know. I want to say 4, but I know for sure in Japan, if you buy Lost Odyssey, the box fits all the discs properly. It's just like a fat box.
It's just a fat box.
But if you buy the North American copy of Lost Odyssey, it's a normal DVD case, and you get 1 disc in the spindle, and you get the other disc in like paper sleeves that are stuffed into the side of the box. Yeah.
I mean, the other game that made news for having such a large data size was like Metal Gear Solid 4.
Oh yeah, on like the PS3.
On PS3. So it's like this is kind of insane because honestly, the more I look at the trailer that they put out with the gameplay, I'm like, okay, so the character assets are really high. Character, voice, sure. All the music that's in there. I think all the models are high, like completely high res, everything else. But if you look at the environments really carefully, and I'm 100% sure they're going to get called out on this in a review. And maybe, I don't think people are going to focus on it that much, but there's some low res stuff in there.
It's got to be 4K textures. It's got to be like, I'm going to go on Steam right now, and I'm going to look up FF15.
Yeah, because
And
that's the most recent comparison other than like Kingdom Hearts. But yeah,
and I'm gonna tell you the 4K texture DLC.
mm-hmm.
It's got to be here somewhere because I actually hold on. I own FF15.
You're just gonna boot it up.
Yeah, no,
We're gonna
I'm
start
not.
hearing like FF15 music in
Yeah,
a couple
like I'm not
seconds.
gonna install it. I actually uninstalled it because it was just like so much
So
space
much.
on my hard drive.
But I mean, like the thing is it's crap. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh man, there's lots of data. You keep looking that up while I keep wandering in my mind, thinking what I was gonna
Okay.
say.
So if I double click it right now to be like, oh, I'm going to install it, it is 88 gigabytes, 90 gigabytes. So that's how much FF15 on my PC. Uh, like that's how much space it is.
And
And I
then,
don't have the 4K textures. So if I do download the 4K
jeez,
textures, that's like how many more, more space that I need.
you just keep adding on. And what I was gonna say, I just remembered it was, we were talking about FF7 Remake being available for PlayStation 5 as well, and it
Hmm.
does come out within that that year exclusivity. And
Oh yeah,
even
you're
for
right. Oh my God, you're right. You're right.
Even for Xbox Series X, it's just countermeasures, guys. It's there, not countermeasures. It's there. So when the new next gen consoles come out, hey, 4K is a thing. Everybody, it's already on here. We ain't gotta worry about it. No patching. Here you go.
Yeah, I feel like it's got to be 4K textures. You're right, I think, because it does come out within the PS4's or Sony's exclusivity period, right?
Right, right,
So yeah, when the PS5 comes out, which is backwards compatible, people can or Sony can just be like, oh, just put it in, it's good to go. It looks great already.
right. And the other thing is whether or not you'll be able to actually choose, like toggle that setting on and off like a PS4 Pro. Similarly, like if you want, you can install that 4K update, not update, but the 4K data, or just maybe you don't even have to
Yeah.
for just normal
Um,
PS4s. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, and
can't
but
take advantage of it.
looking at FF15 on my PC and seeing that it takes 90 gigs, now I can be like, oh, maybe I understand why it's 100
Why
gigabytes
it's
because
100.
it's almost the same.
So I made sure today that I have at least 100 gigs available on my PS4. But honestly, I'm looking for a nice little 4K monitor in the future. I would like to get in on that PS5. So,
Oh yeah, and actually enjoy a 4K gaming experience.
dude, you're talking to someone who bought a PS3 launch date with the CRT.
I had a CRT as well, man.
The text size was never so much smaller. It was so small. I would just be like, this is HD. If I squint
Yes.
hard enough, I can believe I'm seeing what HD is.
So I remember when I got my PS3 and I got Rainbow Six Vegas.
Hmm.
So the menu is meant for an HD like display, so 720p at the time, which is like
Right.
over 10 years ago now. But so I was playing on a CRT and I couldn't read the text on
You
the
can't
menu
read the
because
text. It's so
yeah,
small.
well, it was not small. It's like blurry because it's like the a CRT is so many less pixels, right?
Right.
So it's just like it's not. I don't know. It was you couldn't read it. It was like a terrible blurry mess.
And it's yeah, I mean that's definitely a thing that does happen, but at least now, times are better. At least if you even have a normal, PC monitor or something, you can now enjoy HD gaming. So,
Yeah, what I'm
yay.
really happy about is since everything is a digital connection, it's HDMI or
Or
DisplayPort or
DisplayPort.
whatever.
Hmm.
Everything kind of works with each other. Not, I mean, I know HDMI and DisplayPort are different standards,
Right.
but it's not too hard to get like a converter or something.
Right. And then like back in the day, it really was you needed X amount of, like when I went TV shopping, it was how many HDMI ports does this have? How many of these ports? And like you just brought up, like at least now, if you get a nice monitor, decent monitor, you'll have like one DVI, not DVI, but one display
DisplayPort.
port, maybe two HDMI ports. So like you don't have to do all this, like, I don't know, management for simple people like us. For more people who have, a lot of different, maybe like a Blu-ray player plus this and this. It's kind of annoying for them, but for us simpletons, it's still fine.
Yeah. Anyway, so the thing about FF7 Remake being 100 gigabytes is that this is still only the first part in how many parts, like how many whatever parts, right?
Let's go for 300 gigs.
Yeah, it's break the 300, but I would be curious to, well, I want to know like when part 2 comes out if they're going to be like, oh, we're going to reuse some of those assets if you have it still installed.
Oh,
Probably
bump this.
probably not,
Oh
but
no.
yeah.
You have to go back to Midgard part, which
Oh
luckily you
my
don't.
Oh
Which
man.
you don't. Which luckily
Yeah.
you don't. But if it was like, oh, and you were gonna take you back to Midgard for this part of the story that we added, nah, we ain't about to do that. But you know, it's something we are very happy about. I've got to move us along the golden brick road. Did I get that right? The
Sure.
yellow brick road. There we go.
Yeah, it's not golden, but
The
yeah.
golden. But you know, our girl, Mystic, best wife in the world, Ryza. She's moving on up in the world. Sold over 350,000 copies, as announced on Twitter.
Yeah, that's pretty good for a kind of a niche JRPG.
Dude, people got a hold of that Ryza and didn't want to let go.
Yeah, it's good. You should play it, man.
It's still on my list. So I've got a couple of the games ahead of it in terms of RPGs. I still need to go, like you said, Tales of Berseria. So I want to finish that before I hit to Ryza, which means Ryza should be on sale. And then I can look at some of the best graphics.
Yeah, the best
I'm gonna-
graphics
I'm gonna
in quotation marks here. Yeah.
Dude, they posted the two character designers, or the lead character designer, they posted kind of some new character art for Ryza that they just
Did they?
did, yeah, on their Twitter, and celebrating this.
Mhm.
And I click on it, I'm like, oh, Ryza's still looking good. Click on it, look at the bottom. Oh my word, Ryza's looking great.
I haven't seen these, so I'll look it up later.
I'll have to forward them to you. Yeah, Ryza's still got it.
Looking good, yeah.
Still looking good. And I like derailed myself after thinking about that. But in closing, everyone, as we kind of close the show, I have to say, I saw this story on Kotaku, and I have to start saying, like, when we get our stories, we get them from like Kotaku, from Twitter, we get them from Polygon, it's a number of sources. But thanks to all those sites for always being there for the past couple of 10 years. That means 20 years.
Past couple of 10 years. So yeah, 20 years. Okay.
Thanks for being there all my life, guys. But no, so I was on Kotaku before the show, and apparently Japan has sliced mayo now. Like
How does that work? Explain that to me.
So there's sliced cheese, right?
Yeah, it's in the the plastic sleeve kind of thing, yeah?
Well, they've done the exact same thing, but they've made it mayonnaise.
But mayo is a sauce. I don't get it. How do you, control that? How does it not just squeeze out?
I don't know. You can buy it for like $2.20. I'm actually gonna go see if I can find this, because people, I don't know. Do you think people know about the mayonnaise, like the mayo craze in Japan? That it's weird.
What do you mean, like how mayonnaise is on everything?
It's on everything, and I like it on everything now too.
Oh, here, I did this crazy, speaking of mayonnaise on everything. So back when I was in university, so I was living at a dorm.
Yeah.
I was like kind of bored of rice. I was like, I don't want to eat this kome anymore. I'm tired of kome. I gotta jazz it up. I gotta jazz up my kome. So I was in like the shokudo line, the cafeteria line, and I grab a bottle of mayonnaise and I squeeze it on my rice. And this guy next to me like looks at me and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I don't know." He's like, "Let me try that." And he puts the mayonnaise on the rice. Yeah, and you're just like,
It's
"Oh
good.
man, this is actually good."
Dude, mayo on rice. So like when I get like a Chinese bento, it'll be like kind of a like egg and rice basically. I just put mayo on it, and for fried rice, I put mayo on it. For oh gosh, for like my bread, like when I toast something in the morning, I put mayo on it. It's like
Do you? Oh man.
if I don't like control myself, I go through a bottle, like it's not a big bottle, but just like, I don't know. I go through a tube of mayonnaise a week. I get the one with wasabi in it. Dude,
Wait, a tube? How big are these tubes?
they're like about 200 milliliters. I think I got that right.
200 milliliters. So it's
Yeah.
because it's a liquid, I guess.
It's a
Technically,
liquid,
yeah.
It's not too big. It's enough to put like a little bit on your your toast in the morning.
So the fact,
And-
so wait, you have mayonnaise every day?
About every day, yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's actually way more than I thought you would have had mayonnaise.
When you have mayonnaise on rice, you've tasted the best quality rice.
Yeah, it sounds dumb. Honestly, I have to admit,
does.
I agree. So for any of our listeners who are just like, why would you do that? That sounds disgusting. Believe me, I get it. I understand why you think it's disgusting, but you should probably try it.
You should.
But
you
we
should
have to
definitely try it.
we have to be clear here. You want to use Japanese mayonnaise. You don't want to use like whatever, like what's the American
Just
mayonnaise brand?
Like crap. Sherman's.
Yeah,
Something.
like
The
Best
Mayo.
Foods or whatever
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, you don't use that. Use Japanese like Kewpie mayo or something.
It's a little bit sweeter, but I don't know. It's not too sweet. It's nice. It goes on
Yeah.
everything. It goes on pizza.
Yeah.
Like you will find yourself using it as a substitute for ranch. That's how good it is.
Not me, but
Bro, you need to hit it up. Put it on your pizza.
yeah.
Best.
If you go to Domino's or even Pizza Hut or Pizza La or whatever, mayonnaise is a very common topping on pizza here in Japan.
It's a very common topping. And like they'll put it on anything, salads, taco.
Yeah.
This is the one this one did kind of go too far for me. Taco rice, like why? There is whipped cream, people. Why you got to put taco salads with mayonnaise? Come on now. Whipped
My
cream
question
exists.
is, okay, well, this
Sour
doesn't answer
cream.
my question. I understand the concept of sliced cheese. You unwrap the plastic and you put it face down and you pull the plastic off. I get it. But how does sliced mayonnaise work? Or sorry, like, what is it, sliced, right? Yeah.
Yeah, slices of mayonnaise. Like I just saw the picture. It looks like sliced cheese. I guess they make enough of it, like I don't know. Maybe it's a thick layer or something, and they just
Maybe it's basically the same as sliced cheese, but it just tastes so much like mayo that they're just like, oh yeah, sliced mayo.
I mean, I don't know. It's weird. So it's going on sale March 2nd. So it's not out yet, but once
Yeah, you can pre-order your sliced mayo.
but once it's out, I'm about to get it. It's kind of a bad deal, honestly. It's like four slices for like $1.80.
Yeah, that's not great. But you're gonna get it for sure. Make a
I'm
make a
definitely
video, man.
It's like another video for this. Yeah, I'm gonna get a video for this for sure. Sliced mayo. That's perfect for sandwiches, honestly.
Well, I think that's why it exists.
Oh my goodness,
'cause-
no, I can melt it over rice too.
yeah, hot rice, like steaming hot rice, right? And you put the sliced mayo on it.
Oh my goodness, this is genius. Thank you, Japan.
You could make, oh my god, the easiest sandwich in the world is like bread, sliced cheese, sliced mayo, and then another piece of bread.
Dude, everyone who's listening is just like, shut up about bread and mayo. What's wrong with you people?
Yeah.
It's like I stopped my timer is like stopped on accident. I was like, oh, okay, well, so yeah, it's a great show, everyone. I think that we had a great little show today. I don't know,
Sure,
Alex.
I don't. Yeah.
Sometimes when we're low on topics, it does get a little bit random, courtesy of the coronavirus. Thanks for filling in there. Stay safe, everyone, for real. Don't get hurt by that stuff. And you can always find us on the Instagrams or the Twitters or even the YouTubes. But for
Sure.
Twitter and Instagram, you can find us at UGP_cast. And for YouTube, you can find us at Unknown Games Podcast.
Well, we don't have a custom URL yet because you need 100 subscribers to get a custom URL. But once we had 100 subs, we can easily put a link to our channel.
Yeah, so you can find us there. I stream every Wednesday and Friday here in Japan, 9 o'clock to 12 a.m. I hope I get that, 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. So
Yeah, 3 hours, right?
Yeah, if you just look up NinjaTrix, NinjaTrix on Twitch.
We'll put a link in the show notes.
Oh, yeah, that's good thing. Yeah, I'll come see me play games and die. That's
Sure,
usually what
sounds good.
happens. But that's about it, everyone. We hope you enjoyed the show. Once again, thanks for tuning in. We love you so much. Remember to tell your friends, your family, your dogs, your cats that there's a great show called the Unknown Games Podcast. And leave a 4 or 5-star review on iTunes or Podchaser, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Give us a nice review. And that will do it for us this week. Until next time, episode number 24, season 2. Remember,
we didn't name for our arc.
Oh yeah, we didn't. What's the first arc then?
I don't know, man. Like, because in Bleach it was like what the hollow arc, right?
Yeah.
And then this arc 2 is Soul Society. So I don't know. Well, I don't know what the first one would even be.
We'll come back next week with a
can
solid
figure it
arc
out.
name for you. We'll have it figured out. So remember, everyone, you set the tone. Go play some games. Enjoy what you do. Put something great into the world. and we'll catch you next time. Enjoy the exit music.
Peace.
Peace.